Welcome to Yoga Flow. So today's class, we're going to kind of intermittently get into the abdominals a little bit, but I want you to focus more on full body core engagement. So we often say core, not simultaneously, it's not the same word I want in reference to the abs, but I want you to think of core today in reference to the entire core. So that's going to be your front side and your back side from your pits to your hips. What fires up in all directions here when we move? So I'm going to give you an option today for our opening. If sitting crisscross applesauce or legs forward is a more comfortable position for you, you can take that. If you're okay with it, you can come into a hero's pose today. I'm just going to move my blanket out of the way. And I'm going to grab one of my blocks because that helps me. You can also sit up higher on 2 blocks, which is exactly what I'm going to do today. The higher you go, the typically easier it is on the knees. You can also do this on a folded blanket by folding a blanket such as this in half like this. Okay, so be mindful where you need to be here. And then once you have found the seat that you're going to take, think about that tall spine, ears, shoulders, and hips. Good. Zip up from pubic bone to behind the navel or belly button into the spine. We'll take a slight tuck in the chin. So as we breathe, just notice anywhere you could soften. And if you're taking hero's pose today, which is a little bit different than what we normally do, notice if there's any new areas that you need to soften. Good, and then from here, when you're ready, inhale and expand. Exhale and release. We're going to do that with our arms now. Fingers and arms to the side, palms turning up. Inhale, reach, 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 and lengthen. Feel the side of the body engage. Turning palms away. Grow taller from crown to tail. Feel your core, front and back side. Activate here. And we'll go again. Palms up. Inhale, reach, 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 and lengthen. Turning palms away. Grow taller from crown to tail. As you come all the way down, we'll take those hands into heart center. Creating an intention for your practice. What would you like to give or receive? Maybe you'd like to dedicate this to someone or something. Good, and then once you have that set, inhale, take the palms up overhead, turning palms away, and grow taller once more from crown to tail. So yes, if you need to come out of hero's pose at any time, please do so. But I'm going to stay here for the rest of the opening. So I'm going to take my right arm up, left arm to the side. I'm going to get a side bend. Now you might just kind of hold on to the side of the body here. You can't see my ankle back here, but I'm kind of holding there. That's one way to find support. If you've got long arms, you can take it all the way to the floor. Think about squeezing low rib cage and the top of the rib together. Inhale, exhale, use your obliques, your side abs on the other side to come up. Inhale, good. Take that to the other side, exhale. And if you're in hero's pose, notice if this feels different to you versus sitting in crisscross applesauce. And then from here, we'll come all the way up. Good, big inhale. Exhale, we'll take that over again. You can stay here. You can open up towards the back, or maybe you want belly button in, getting a C-curve roll, forehead in the direction of the knee. If you're in hero's pose, it won't touch. If you're crisscross applesauce, try not to touch. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale, coming all the way back up. Taking it all the way over into the other side. Choosing to stay here, opening towards the ceiling, or getting a C-curve roll. And then from here, opening back up, coming all the way back up. Good. We're going to go into a little bit of a twisty flow here. So big inhale, exhale, come over. Arms can come down. We'll lift, come back center. taking it to the other side, lift, come back through center, taking it to the other side. So just moving here, nice long spine. Good. Now as we come over to the other side, we're going to pause over here. So I'm going to take my hands down, rolling shoulders back. Good. So this back hand, I'm just going to take and just kind of place right on the low back here. And I'm rolling this shoulder back just a little bit more. And from here, we'll release, we'll lift, move through center, take it to the other side, arms come down, rolling shoulders back. You can stay there, or maybe this back hand can come back, resting right on top of the hip. Rolling that back shoulder back. And then we'll release and we'll come back center. Good. So from here, I'm going to just kind of go into a little bit of a roll here. And then you're going to choose where you're going to work. So we're going to come into a little bit of a flow here. So if you're on hero's pose, I'll just kind of try to move myself to the side so you can see it just a little bit better. Good. And I'm actually going to take out one of my blocks. Good. So from here, this is going to be one move. If this is not for you, then you can be crisscross applesauce and just get a hinge, switch your legs, hinge, switch your legs, and hinge. So finding where you need to be, arms to the side. Good. I'm going to lift. I'm squeezing my glutes when I come up here, so that will help with your balance. And then I'm going to come back in. And I'm going to lift and come back in. And lift and come back in. And lift. Move with the breath. And one more time. Good. I'm going to take it all the way up. I'm reaching, reaching, reaching. And I'm going to take that down. I'm on my knees, so I'm just going to carefully transition right into tabletop from here. If you're on crisscross applesauce, carefully make your way there. I'm going to move my blocks to the side and forward. Good. Spreading the fingers nice and wide, rooting through knuckles of pinky, pointer, and thumb. Hips or knees are hip width apart or slightly wider. Good. And I'm just going to move through inhaling on a cow, exhaling through a cat. And I'm moving here through a bit of a moderate pace. If you need to go slower, take yourself slower. Good. I am battling a little bit of stuffiness today because of the cold and the dusting of snow that we got overnight, so I do apologize. You also might see me taking sips of my water here if I go froggy in the throat. Good. So from here, when you're ready, we are going to move right into a downward facing dog. So taking hands about half a hand's width or full hand's width forward. Good. I'm going to tuck the toes. I'm going to lift and I'm going to shift. Good. So from here, press evenly into big toe and pinky toe mounds. Hip, knees, toes, and ankles are tracking. I'm pressing in and forward into my mat, rooting through knuckles of pinky, pointer, and thumb. My shoulders are in their pockets and my belly button is in. Notice what back muscles fire up here. Remember, that's part of your core. When you activate your shoulders in their pockets. You can start to walk your dog here, bending one knee, lengthening the other. Come high on the toes, drop the heels. You can bend and lengthen. Stillness is always an option, so find what your body needs. Breathe, bring in that Ujjayi pranayama if you've got that ocean breath, the victorious breath. And then from here, we'll take stillness if we took some movement. Inhale. Oh, we're going to shift forward here into our plank. So I'm in a high plank. You can also be in a grounded plank. If a forearm plank is a little bit better to you for right now, that's fine too. We're going to try and be here for a 30 count. Okay. So if 30 is not your number, you're going to take it to where you can. You'll bring your knees down. You'll take a break. But those of us that are going to try for the 30, take that back, find your plank, organize your plank so we're not hanging in the shoulders. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Whew, we're going to drop down, child's pose. Knees together as wide as the mat, somewhere in between, maybe a little cupcaking of the fingertips here. And breathe and expand. Good, and when you're ready, I'm going to take my hands back down to the floor. I'm going to come back forward, tucking the toes, finding a downward facing dog. Good. From the down dog, reconnect with the breath. Come back to that intention. Inhale, look forward, bending the knees. Walk or step your feet forward to meet this, your hands, this first one. Come to blocks if you can't touch the floor. Good. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway, flatten the spine. Exhale and bow. Always keep a little bend in the knees here if you're tight in the back body or have some back issues. Inhale, one more time, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale and bow. Inhale, root through the feet, engage the glutes, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Finding your breath, your mountain, your intention. Good. Going into some flows now. Big inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale, hinge from the hips and we'll fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, we'll bow. Inhale, root through the feet, engage the glutes, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale and lift. Exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, bow. From this bow, we'll plant the hands, step back into that plank pose. Hold your plank, knees lifted or lowered. We're still breathing. Get organized. And then those of you that are more experienced can shift forward slightly without collapsing through shoulders, lower down to the belly. Others are going to follow me. Knees lower first and carefully lower down to the belly without collapsing. And we'll wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Good. Now I'm just going to move my blocks a little bit out of the way so you can see my hands. But I'm going to take my hands a little bit forward into the side of the shoulders, relaxing the elbows. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen through the low body, belly button into the mat, pubic bone into the mat. And then from here, when you're ready, we'll take this in. I think I said belly button into the mat. I meant belly button into the spine. Pubic bone is into the mat. Good. Now, as long as the low back is not crunching here, you're fine. Some of you will make an adjustment. Some of you are going to pick up arms, finding your true Cobra here. Again, notice what holds you up here in the back and how the front body also has to work to do that with engagement. Now, if you're lifted, could you take your arms to the side? Maybe hands back by the hips. Palms can be up or down. Some of you will stay here. Others are going to lengthen a little bit more and engage the front body a little bit more, maybe lifting the lower body full locust. Breathe. Good. From here, I'm staying lifted. I'm taking my arms back out to the side. I'm bringing my hands back in, lowering hands, lowering upper and lower body. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Good. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Belly button in, pubic bone into the mat. Find your baby cobra again or find a different height. So long as you're not crunching in the back and the shoulders are not creepy by ears. So you want them to be down in their pockets. We also don't want to hang in the low back, which is here. So be supported. And then we'll lower that back down. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Hands back into the shoulders. Stronger, more experienced yogis can tuck the toes, push up into a plank, shift back down dog. Everyone else follow me, coming up through a tabletop position, lifting the knees, finding down dog. Coming back to breath and intention. When you're ready, inhale, look forward, bend the knees. Walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, we'll bow. Inhale, root through the feet, engage the glutes, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center, finding breath, mountain, intention. Good. 2 quicker sun salute A's. You choose to take or skip a flow. Inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Notice your core, front and back body. Exhale and bow. Inhale, step or hop back to plank pose. You choose. Take or skip a flow. From down dog when you're ready, inhale, look forward, bend the knees. Walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, and bow. Inhale, root through the feet, engage the glutes, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Last one, inhale and lift. Exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, and bow. Inhale, plant the hands. Step or hop back to plank pose. You choose. Take or skip a flow. A modified one like I'm doing is always okay too. Good. Now hang out here for a moment. So now what we're going to do is we're going to come in a dolphin and a forearm plank. So I'm going to give this to you from a beginner's perspective, a beginner's mind. So I'm going to take my knees down here. So some people are going to come to the forearms. You can keep arms straight forward. Some people like a hand clasp here. Either one is fine. It's all about what feels good to you. And for some of us, this might be your dolphin pose today. So careful not to be here. You want to be here. Okay. Forearm plank the same way. You can take your knees back a little bit if you need your knees grounded, or you can lift. Others from here, if we're good, are going to take the legs back and then find the dolphin. So my shoulders are in their pockets. Shoulders can be over or behind the elbows, but not forward. Your head doesn't touch in dolphin. Again, feel those back muscles and the front muscles work. Pits to hips. And then from here, when you're ready, I have to step back to come to my forearm plank. Find your forearm plank. Yes, this is upper body strength building here as well. Take a break if you need one. And then when you're ready, if you can, take that back up into the dolphin. Belly button into the spine. And one more time, take that back into your forearm plank. And then from the forearm plank, we'll drop those knees, press back, child's pose. And I'm actually going to do a little bit of a rounded child's pose here because sometimes that feels good to my upper body. And then when you're ready, find the downward facing dog pose that works for you with a smile. I know that that's not easy work, but it's good work. Good. From your down dog, when you're ready, inhale, look forward, bend the knees, walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Excellent bow as we bow. Let's come into a dangle, so maybe a little bit of it in knees, grabbing opposite elbow. Just feel the traction down the spine here. Reconnect with your roots as well. So can you still press into big toe, pinky toe mound in the heels? Good. Now we'll release the elbows. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, little bow. Inhale, root through the feet, engage the glutes. We're going to rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Finding breath, mountain, intention. Moving along. Inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, little bow. From your bow, step or hop back into your plank pose. And then you can take or skip a flow. So I'm skipping this one. I'm going right back into my down dog. Good. So we're going to prepare for a little bit of a hop here. So what I'm going to do for my down dog is I'm going to bend and come forward, and then I'm going to lengthen and hinge. I'm going to come forward, strong in upper body, and hinge one more time. Good. Now from here, if you need to, you can always walk or step. I'm going to bend my knees. I'm going to kind of hop forward a little bit, and then I'm going to come to the ground, and we're going to work on some core work again. So different things for different people. Some of you, we're going to go into some boat work, Navasana. So some of you need to dock your boat. So maybe your hands need to come back here. Try to keep a long spine. Try not to kind of collapse in here and slump asana. So we want that engagement. Belly button in will help. Okay, so this is going to be you. Others, thighs or shins. Maybe all you do is just have your little tiptoes on the ground, maybe a little bit of a hover, practicing balance. Your core has to fire up here, both front and back side of the body, to hold this balance. Others are going to come into traditional boat. You can come to long boat. You can release your boat. Belly button in, breathe. We're breathing. We're breathing. We're relaxing through the shoulders. We're breathing. We're breathing. We're breathing. And when you're ready, feet can come down. Take that forward. Find a forward fold. Breathe and expand. Good. Now we've got number 2. So from here, you can do what we just did. If you want more challenge, you'll follow me. So again, finding your boat. Maybe you can release and come to prayer. I'm lengthening my spine. Maybe you go into rotation. Maybe you rotate with your legs. Yes, and we're breathing, and it's hard. And we can tell where our core strength is if we feel this in the hip flexors here, which is probably going to be most people because we're in a society that sits a lot. So from here, when you're ready, come back, take it forward, get a nice relaxing fold, getting out of there. And when you're ready, I'm going to cross my ankles. We're going to make our way back to down dog. So if you need to get there a different way, because your body needs you to get there a different way, find that way. Good. And when you're ready, from down dog, inhale, look forward, bend the knees. Walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, roll bow. Inhale, root engaging, rise. Exhale, hands to heart center, finding breath, mountain intention. Now, if you're like me after I do that series, because as strong as my abs are, sometimes it still goes into the hip flexors here. We're going to do a little series that will kind of get in here and calm this down. So big inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, little bow. From here, you choose step or hop back into plank pose. Take or skip a flow. I'll meet you in down dog. Good. And just so you're aware, when we come into this next one, we're going to have a knee down. So you may want to prepare by grabbing. I'm going to use my toe to bring my blanket in here a little bit more. Good. You can bring that in. So from the down dog, left leg's going to lift 3-point. And let's bend that knee and open here to the left just for a moment. Strong, even upper body. Again, what is firing up and working in both back and front side? They work together. You can't have one without the other. So from here, when you're ready, we're going to take your hips and your knee back even to the floor. And when you're ready, round, step, or pick up and put the left foot forward between the hands. I'm going to bring my blocks in here while I'm here. And then I'm going to let that right knee kind of settle down. Now I'm going to undo my blanket here. I'm going to use knee cushion today. Good. And then once you've determined that's where you're going to go, we are going to make sure that knee is behind the hips. We're just going to kind of rock forward and back a few times here. You might not need your blocks, but they can be nice. They do kind of help a little bit of support. They help you focus on what we're doing so that you don't have to reach as deep. And then from here, when you're ready, we're going to find where you want to be. Do you want to be a little bit more forward? Notice how my back is long here and I'm zipping up through the front body. Some of you might choose to stay here. Some might choose to come up here. You might choose a little balance challenge. Good. You might choose to take a hand to the thigh and maybe opening to the right. Good. Now I'm letting myself kind of settle in here. My body is my guide. For some of you, you'll stay. Others might bend. Others might bind. You can always bind with your pants as well. So I'm able to do this because my knee is behind my hip. If your knee is under the hip, your kneecap is going to scream at you. So make sure that you're in good alignment before you try a bend or a bind. And then from here, we'll release with control and we'll come back. And then from here, I'm going to take this down and we're going to hinge it back. Good. I'm going to take hip over knee here. And I'm using my blocks to help me. So to do that, this front heel needs to shift forward. I'm keeping softness in this knee. I'm lengthening, lengthening, lengthening. You can fold in as long as your front hamstring will let you. So let that be your guide. Who knew that body awareness would actually turn out being your intention today? Paying attention to what happens in front and back side of the body. And then from here, when you're ready, we'll come up. Good. I'm going to take that in. Good. I'm just going to kind of be here just a little bit more. And then when you're ready, good. I'm going to take my blocks forward. I'm going to plant my hands. I'm going to tuck my back toe, lift my back knee. My front foot is going to come back. You can choose to take or skip a flow. Even if you've got a blanket there, that's okay. Good. Now notice how you feel on one side versus the other. We're going to take that into the other side now. So right leg's going to lift 3-point, bending that knee. We open to the side, strong, even upper body. You might even feel a stretch down that left leg here. I do when I open up. I feel a stretch also in the leg that's my supporting leg. And then from here, we're going to take that knee and those hips even to the floor. Inhale, exhale, round, step or pick up and put that foot forward between the hands. Good. So I'm just going to kind of move my blanket back a little bit here. I'm going to ground down that knee. I'm going to make sure that knee is behind. So if you're unable to pick up the knee and take it back, take your front foot forward. Good. Now bringing in blocks here if you need them. I'm lengthening. I'm finding that engagement. I'm just going to rock back and forth here a few times. Move with the breath. Good. Coming back in. Choose your path. Do you stay here? Do you come here? Do you come here? Good. So I will turn away from you for a little bit here. Do you take a forearm to the thigh and open up to your right? Do you stay there? Do you bend? Do you bind? So again, the key is knee behind the hip. And then from here, I'm going to release. I'm going to come forward and I'm going to take that down. Good. I'm going to shift back here because I want my hip over my knee. And I'm going to let this front heel come forward. Good. And then from here, I'm just going to use my blocks a little bit higher. This is my tighter side. Lengthening through the torso. You can stay here or you can fold in. So find what your body needs. Now, and again, you may not need your blocks. You might have the ability to come to the floor. That's okay too, as long as you're not compromising form. And then from here, we'll come up out of there. Good. I'm going to come back in here one more time. As I do that, I'm going to take my blocks forward. Good. Planting the hands, tucking the back toe, lifting back knee, front foot steps back. And you choose take or skip a flow. Good. Now I'm going to move my blanket out of the way here. And from your downward facing dog, we're going to go back into that little transition. So I'm going to come forward and bend and take it back. And bend and take it back. And when you're ready, you can bend, walk, step, or hop your feet forward. Come back to a seat. We're going to come back into some core work again, but this one's a little bit more fun. So if you've got disc issues back here, if I can talk, then I recommend just kind of finding a little bit of a balance challenge for you, and you'll have different ones. Those of you that are safe to roll, I'm going to give you different options. So you can hold here, hold here. This might be you. Good. A move that I stole from Pilates mat work is seal. So maybe you take one arm under one leg. And this takes work just to be here in a balance. So this might be for you. And then you can seal. Good. Careful not to roll on the back. Good. And if you want to, you can even clap your feet. Just like a seal does. This is supposed to elicit some laughter and some fun. So don't take it serious. And then when you're ready, maybe you want a little bit more advanced. So maybe you come up. You can play with taking one leg here into balance, the other leg into a balance, maybe an open leg rocker. So technically you're supposed to grab the feet, but I have short arms, so I grab my shins to make it work for me. This is also challenging just to be here in a balance. And maybe you take it back and come back up with a smile. Good. And then when you're ready, bring that forward, legs forward, find a fold. Breathe and expand. And when you're ready, we're going to transition back to downward facing dog. So the best way for you to get there is what I recommend. And from your down dog, we'll inhale, look forward, bend the knees, walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale on a bow. Inhale, root into those feet. Engage those glutes, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Finding breath, mountain, intention. Good. All right. So again, we're going to continue to tap into that core. We're going to continue to move. We're going to go into Dancing Warrior series here, or at least a variation of it. We'll do the first set slow on each side, and then we'll flow that through. So from here, let's actually start feet hip width apart, and I'm going to take a block on each side here. We're not going to flow in between on this one. But so we're nice and wide. Okay. My toes are even. I'm pressing through the outer edges of my feet. Sorry about that. Excuse me. So from here, we're going to start left foot turns out to the left. Good. I'm going to angle in that back foot. So think about a heel to heel, heel to arch, or take this leg out a little bit wider. We're going to set up for Warrior 2. So remember, the key to Dancing Warrior series is a good setup in your Warrior 2. It is the base. It is the foundation. So get into your feet. Hip, knee, and toe track forward. Make sure the knee's tracking towards pinky toe. You can see that front toe. Maybe front hip will come back hip will come forward. Breathe. Do you feel a little bit different in your back when you take your belly button into the spine? Excuse me. When you're ready, good. with a bent front knee or lengthened front leg. We're going to take it back into exalted. You are welcome to find a wrap or a bind here if you like that. If not, just be. Good. Inhale, exhale, finding warrior two. Coming into a humble warrior variation. Hands will come behind you. You can rest them there, you can clasp them there, you can press down, you can open the chest. As I come in. Now, depending on how deep you come, maybe you can press knee and elbow into each other. Some might have to take a hand down here for support, and that's okay. And belly button in. Inhale, exhale, full body engagement. As you come up out of there, I'm going to lengthen my front leg. I'm going to take it back into exalted. You can also keep that front knee bent for more challenge. Inhale, exhale, find that warrior two. Coming into extended side angle. So I'm pressing back again. I'm lengthening, lengthening, lengthening. Some will come forearm to the thigh. Some will come to a block, any height, inside or outside of the foot. And then open up. I like to take my arm up over the ear. So you find where you need to be. And we're opening here, so we still have this length. Get into the front heel, press more into the back. The back heel, that is. Inhale, look down at that front foot. We're going to lengthen. Good. Stabilize, come back. Inhale, exhale, finding warrior two. We're going to take this up, take this foot in. Watch your alignment, going right into the other side. Good. So from here, set yourself up for success for warrior two on the side, and your alignment might be a little bit different. That's okay too. And when you're ready, find that beautiful warrior two. Front hip might come back just a little bit here. Relax the shoulders. Good. When you're ready, inhale, exhale. We'll take it back to exalted. If you did an arm bind or an arm wrap at this point on the other side, maybe find something similar here. Good. Inhale, exhale, warrior two. Good. You can lengthen that front leg, or actually, never mind that. We're going to go to humble warrior. My bad. Taking hands behind, find your positioning of the shoulders and the hands, pressing through the back foot, hinging forward. Good. Coming in. Maybe shoulder and knee can press into each other. Maybe you need to take your hand down here. That's okay. Good. Find length again in the torso. And press back a little bit more into the back foot. And when you're ready, inhale, exhale, whole body engagement. Coming up out of there, I'm going to lengthen my front leg. Take it back, exalted. Good. Inhale. Exhale, warrior two. Good. We're finding extended side angle. So I'm going to press back through. I'm going to lengthen and hinge, long torso. I'm in that front heel. Forearm can come to the thigh. You can open up here. Maybe you come to a block, inside or outside. Opening up there. Long lines. Watch your front knee over behind the ankle. Notice comparisons from one side to the other. Now look down at that front foot. I'm going to lengthen as I come out of there. Come back, warrior one. Exalted. Excuse me. Exalted. Inhale. Exhale. Finding warrior two. And then we'll come back up here. I'm going to turn this foot. We're going to come into a little bit of a fold here before we do this a little bit faster on each side. So big inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale, hinge and fold. Hands can come to blocks to the floor, pressing through the outer edges of the feet. Good. From here, I'm going to lift and lengthen, putting a little bend in the knees. Hands come to the thighs, pressing up out of there. Good. From here, we are going to carefully heel toe it in, or step. Coming to the top of the mat, we'll flow this out. So as we go into this, what we just did, we're going to move through it a little bit faster. Go at your pace. And if you mess up, don't worry about that. I mess up all the time when I'm doing it in personal practice. And if you need to take out any component, feel free to do that too. So from the top, big inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, little bow. Inhale, step or hop back to plank pose. You choose. Take or skip your flow. When you're ready, left leg will lift 3-point, bending that knee. Round, step or pick up and put that foot forward between the hands. Use blocks to help you with stability if you need to. Warrior prepping, find your alignment. And then when you're ready, find your stability as you rise. Good. So again, this is everything. Front hip comes back hip comes forward, pressing into the big toe mounds, pressing into the heel. Here we go. Inhale, exhale, take it into exalted. Warrior 2, find humble. Come back up, warrior 2, use your breath, exalted. Warrior 2, find extended. Warrior 2, exalted. Warrior 2, humble. Warrior 2, exalted. Warrior 2, extended. Warrior 2, exalted. Warrior 2, cartwheel that down, take or skip a flow. Noticing how you feel. Good. I'm just going to kind of move over to the other side. Whenever you're ready, from your down dog, right leg's going to lift, 3-point. Bending that knee, here we go. Round, step, or pick up and put that foot forward between the hands. Use a block to help you for stability if you need to. Good. Warrior prep, rise. Warrior 2. Front hip will come back hip will come forward. And then from here, here we go. Warrior 2, take it to exalted. Warrior 2, find humble. Warrior 2, exalted. Warrior 2, extended. Warrior 2, exalted. Warrior 2, find humble. Warrior 2, exalted. Warrior 2, extended. Warrior 2, exalted. Warrior 2, cartwheel that down. Plant the hands, swivel up back foot, front foot steps back. You choose. Take or skip a flow. Woo. From your down dog, when you're ready, inhale, look forward, bend the knees. Walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, little bow. Inhale, root through the feet, engage the glutes, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center, finding breath. Mountain, intention. Good. Where did you feel that? In front and back side of the body. Now we're going to feel those body parts again in a different way with a little bit of a balance challenge here. So this can be done up against a wall or a steady piece of furniture. So what we're going to do here is we're going to come into a half moon. We'll transition through center through warrior 3. Some of you might choose to do warrior 3 the whole time. That's fine. Or stay at warrior 3. From the warrior 3, we'll switch directions and come into a revolved half moon. I will show you what I'm talking about before we do it for real. So it looks like this. Okay. It won't be quite this fast, but here's your half moon. Warrior 3, revolved. Okay. So whenever you're ready, I like to have both blocks up here because I know that I'm going to use them both into my transition. So starting on the left side, hip knee and toe are going to face forward. I've got my block forward, and a little bit to the left of the left foot so I'm a little bit more stable. And then from here, I'm just going to bend that knee. Good. So I'm going to reach. Good. And then from here, maybe open. Good. When I open, hip, knee, and toe are opening to the side. And I don't want to think about taking my leg too far back. Good. When you're ready, inhale, exhale, slowly transition to the warrior three. So hips, right toes, knees, and hip are facing the floor. You can choose to stay here. Now your right hand's going to be on the block, and we're going to open, revolving to the left. My hips stay grounded towards the floor. And then I'm going to bring that back in. My right foot's going to come in, and I'm going to take a fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, and we'll bow. Inhale, root through the feet, engage the glutes, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Finding breath, mountain, and tension. Now, if you can, most of you are probably just concentrating, just being in this balance challenge, and that's all you're thinking about, doing that and staying in your breath. But if you can, if you do these well, reconnect with the front and the back side of the body, your whole core. Remember, pits to hips. So from here on the other side, right leg's going to be your standing leg. Hip, knee, and toe comes forward. Good. I'm going to reach and hinge. My right block is forward and to the right of my right foot. I'm going to open to the left now. Good. I'm pressing in the big toe, pinky toe mounds into the heel. Inhale. Exhale. Maybe we transition that down into warrior three. You choose stay here, or maybe left hand is on the block as you rotate from the torso, opening to the right. And then from here, taking that down, back foot's going to come down, find a fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, and we'll bow. Inhale, root through the feet, engage the glutes, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Finding your breath, your mountain, your intention. When you're ready, we're going to make our way down onto the floor. So I'm just going to move my blocks to the side. So from here, big inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, and bow. Inhale, step or hop back to plank. You choose. Take or skip the last flow of this class. Then from your down dog, drop those knees, find a child's pose. Breathe and expand in this child's pose. And then when you're ready, we're going to come up. I'm just going to walk my knees forward, crossing ankles, coming to a seat. Good. Okay, we're going to go into a little bit of a seated twist here. And then we're going to come onto our backs and stay down there. So I'm going to take my left leg forward. I'm going to bring my right foot in. Good. There is a more advanced version of this, so I will introduce that. So if you're there, if you can put your foot here. So I've got a lot of floating here, so I'd probably fill that in because it doesn't come to the floor. This arm, same arm as the leg that's crossed over, will wrap around, bind at the toe, and you can fold here. As you can see, I'm not quite there. So I'm just going to take my foot right up into that left thigh. And then from here, when you're ready, big inhale, exhale, hinge and fold. Find a little bit more length in your fold. Breathe and expand the rib cage. Another good place to find Ujjayi Pranayama if you've got that in your practice. And then from here, when you're ready, inhale, exhale. We're going to carefully come up from there, and we're just going to switch sides. So find the version of this that works for your body. I'm going to keep it pretty basic, and just know that that other option is there. Big inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale, hinge and fold. Breathe and expand into that back body. And when you're ready, inhale, exhale, carefully come up out of there. We're going to come onto our backs. Have a block handy within your reach. And come onto your back in the way that's best for you. Good. And I'm just going to make sure that my blanket and things are not in my way. So as you come down here, good. We're going to go into an eagle style core movement, or ab movement, maybe I should say. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up my left leg. I'm going to cross it over the right. And think about really squeezing the thighs together, kind of like when we were kids and we had to go to the bathroom really bad. So, we crossed our legs and squeezed really tight. So kind of think about that engagement. And then from here, I'm going to take my arms up. My left arm is on top of my right. Find an eagle hug or a wrap here. Good. Zip up through the front body. I'm going to bring my legs into a hover. Inhale, exhale. We're going to crunch 1, crunch 2, crunch 3, 4, 5, and 6. Taking those feet down, undo your arms to the side. Press into that right foot. Pick up the hips, shift them over to the left. Let those knees fall to the right. Breathe and expand. Where do you feel what? Do you feel tension here? Where? Do you feel relaxation here? Where? Do you feel a nice stretch here? Where? Probably more than one place. And when you're ready, if you need to undo your legs to take one at a time back to center, go ahead and do so. Otherwise, we're going to come back up, undo the feet, press into the feet. Good. Let the hips come back to center. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. We're going to take that all again onto the other side. So now your right leg's going to cross over the left, squeezing into those thighs. Arms are going to come up. Our right arm is on top of the left. Excuse me. Find a hug or find your eagle wrap. Good. Zip up through the front body. Lower body's going to be in a little hover. Here we go. We're in the lift for 6. Exhale 5. Exhale 4. Exhale 3. Exhale 2. Exhale 1. Take that down. Arms undo. Come to the side. Press into that left foot. Lift the hips. Shift the hips to the right. Knees are going to come to the left. And breathe and expand. And tap back into that body awareness. Tap back into your intention. And when you're ready, undoing the legs or keeping them together as you come back here. I'm going to undo my legs now, pressing in my feet, taking my hips back to center, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Grab that trusty block. As long as you don't have anything funny going on in your sacrum, you can do this one or you can stay grounded. I recommend ranch house or townhouse setting with your block, just so that your sacrum as well as your sits bones are all supported. Now I'm in a supported bridge. I'm rolling my shoulders back here. Hips, knees, and toes are tracking. For some of you, if this feels really good, you want to stay here, stay here. Those of us that want to keep with it, one leg at a time, bring them up into tabletop. And what this block is going to do is it's going to give us a little bit more range of motion for yogic bicycles. So I'm just going to reach. My belly button isn't tight to my spine. Good. Now let's reverse. Good. And then from here, when you're ready, good. I'm going to take my legs up. Some people like this as a supported shoulder stand or supported legs up the wall. You're free to stay here. Or others are going to come into with me into a little bit of a stretch. So I'm just going to take my legs out to the side. Good. From here, I'm going to bring them back up. We might do another little core exercise here. This is completely optional. I'm going to keep my left leg where it is. My right leg is going to come long in a hover. Belly button's in tight. Good. Right leg swings out to the right, left leg to the left. Left leg's going to keep moving forward to a hover. Now my right leg is up towards the ceiling and my left leg joins. I'll take that again. Right leg drops out to the side. This is all controlled, so nothing is touching the floor here and coming up. Let's reverse that. So now your left leg's going to come into a hover. Good. Legs are going to open out to the side, swinging around. Think about helicopter. And then we'll take that again. And take that back up. Good. If you want to stay here, you can. Otherwise, I'm going to bend my knees, take 1 foot at a time back to the floor. I'm going to remove my block. I'm going to wiggle to the side. Good. So find one more short little pose that you might need. Is that a twist? Is it a happy baby? Do you want to stay in that bridge pose a little bit longer? Find what it is. The only rule is it must already be in your practice. So if you've never done it before, please do not attempt it. And when you're ready, carefully come out of where you went. And we're going to find Savasana, a short one today. So I'm going to bring my folded blanket in as a neck pillow. You can take your legs long and let everything flop open. You can put a bend in the knees. You can be on your side. You can be on your belly. If you've got other props at home, you want to use those, a bolster cushion, something like that under your knees. Feel free to go there. Otherwise, see if you can make yourself about 10% more comfortable. And I will leave you here for a few short moments. Tap into your body awareness while you're here. What's it telling you? Reconnecting with the breath, taking some deep breaths. Choose stillness or gently take head and neck from side to side. Choose stillness or gently invite movement of the fingers and the toes. Choose stillness or invite the knees to come into the chest, choosing to keep the upper body grounded or maybe lifted into a full body hug. And choosing stillness or taking legs long in front of you, moving any props out of the way first, arms long behind you, and reach and lengthen from the edge of the fingertips, the edge of the toes, full body stretch, point and flex through the feet, bend and stretch through the hands, twirling wrists and ankles in one direction, and then in the other. And then from here, whenever you're ready, carefully bending in both knees, and you choose rolling over onto your right or left side, the side that works best for your moment or your body in this moment. And whenever you're ready, no rush to come up, find a comfortable seat. So you're free to return back to that hero's pose or the more traditional seat that we usually start with. And once you find that seat, find a tall spine, ears, shoulders, and hips, noticing how you feel now versus when you first came here to our practice. Fingertips to the side, palms turning up. Inhale, reach, 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 and lengthen, touching palms together. Exhale, hands and heart center. Reconnecting with that intention you made for yourself one more time. And we'll take thumbs to the forehead for good and true thoughts, to our lips for good and kind words, and to our hearts for open and loving hearts, knowing no effort on this mat is ever wasted, no gain is ever reversed. May you be safe. May you stay well. May you have a wonderful day, evening, or week ahead. Namaste.